Hello, and welcome to the Arrowverse podcast, the Brave and the Bold series, crossover episode, issue 1. Alright, so we will be talking about our overall thoughts on the crossover, how our favorite moments, our least favorite moment, MVPs, and what we want to see in the next year crossover. So my name is Ariel, and I have with me...
I'm Fred.
I'm Alan. We're from District 6.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's start off with what were your overall thoughts on the crossover?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was fun. I liked a lot of it. Obviously, the small things that I didn't care for were like, well, I did not care for, but like the CGI. Occasionally, it was a little funky when they were trying to save everybody through that building. Oliver's like, hey, like his CGI was a little bad.
But you know what it is? It's the CGI that took too long. I think that's what it is. But overall, I think it was cool. I mean, so I guess you want to do what we liked first, or
yeah, like what? How do you think it compared to last year's or the years before?
Honestly, I think since they've been doing so well with these, I think they got a bigger budget on that because on the real, it was really good. I really liked it. I really liked the fact that it wasn't cheesy, even though they were fighting each other. Because it was Oliver versus Oliver, and they could have gone real south with it, but it looked good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I liked the fact that they had some kind of story to why they were crossing over to this Earth, why they wanted to get Supergirl. So to me, that was hype. That was good. I really liked it.
How do you think it was? So you say?
Like, overall, I think it's the best.
Best one
because
so
you know what, they had. Just let alone the characters that crossed over, they still had Captain Cold coming back as Citizen Cold, right?
Yeah.
They had Red Tornado, which you haven't seen since season 1 of Supergirl.
Yeah, and that was
way better. Way better looking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, way better looking.
That one was like.
You had the Ray.
Oh, they didn't even try.
Yeah,
they didn't. I was like.
You had Ray, and then you had Guardian there. You had. You had a good abundance of characters, even though they were playing maybe different little roles here and there in the series. But you had everybody, these small cameos, big cameos, main things. So it was really nice. And honestly, since I get hyped about the Flash, what about Flash's daughter? Because I know that's who it is.
Oh,
came during the wedding. What was it? Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn Allen. Yeah.
I was like too hyped.
Yeah. No. Overall, I think it was definitely the best. Crossover so far. They learned a lot from it, and like instead of this was the first one that they basically from the start it's all integrated. It's all integrated. There's no separation of it, and it's all like one big story.
That's how I wanted all the crossovers to be. The biggest issue I had with the other crossovers
is that they were trying to specify.
Well, everybody had different. No, but you know what? At least they had something. Supergirl was the most wackest one last season.
It was just that.
It was so bad because it was what, like
it was just
2 minutes at the end, maybe not even that.
And they replaced.
It was like a post-credits.
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden like boom, hey, we're here for you, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, and they repeated it on the Flash.
Oh yeah, and then I was like, might as well
so
not
it
have
just
had
makes
one.
it new.
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
no,
okay.
They definitely like took that home too with the with using that one title card and like between all of them, and then like the whole integration of the different title like music for each show. That was really good.
Yeah.
And then definitely keeping it on 2 nights with 2 episodes each night.
Oh yeah,
really
it was great. It made it seem like a little movie, and that's what I think. Ultimately, that's what you want with the crossovers. You want it to seem like
to be like a big
like a big movie, continuous. Really, like when I watched it, it made me want to watch episode by episode by episode just to finish it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't catch it when it came out. I caught it a couple weeks after, but I was able to watch every single episode. It was like a little mini movie. It was just enough separated from the TV series that I didn't have to watch the Supergirl or Arrow or the Flash or any of those. If I just wanted to kind of jump into it and catch up to that, you were able to watch that, and then I can go back and watch the episodes later with no issue. But because sometimes you're binging one and you're kind of in the middle of another one. But it was perfect enough that I didn't have to worry about what happened in the episodes. It threw me in and it gave me just what I wanted, just a good time.
Yeah. So our favorite moments, like you said, like some of my favorite moments with the whole Dawn Allen moment. I call them like I see you moments kind
Yeah.
of thing of like so like with the Dawn Allen she's kind of like I would kind of viewed her like with just that moment of kind of like learning from her father's mistakes. Is like she's just the observant speedster. She probably knew what was going to happen, and she didn't change anything.
If they follow along, I think what the comic books had, she never met him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to bring up too. That it was clear that with the whole like, especially from the newspaper, they brought up that newspaper again of like him like disappearing and that disappearance, and like you kind of got that sense from.
Yeah, because she seemed really excited to see him, and almost like, oh, I want to hold you. But it's weird because they're coming off with the whole I love weddings.
I thought for a quick second, because I didn't like think about it right off the bat. I thought I was like, who is this hoe?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
I
thought she was like the small theories I had. I was like, maybe she's gonna be like part of the villains. She was gonna be like, oh hey, you're so cute, blah blah blah. Don't go with Iris, just to ruin the whole wedding, and then just be like, ha, got him. I'm with the Nazis, and you're like, oh god, and then at the end you're just like, oh shit, it's her future kid.
No, like I
Nazi.
like,
Damn, that would have been a big twist. Nazi Irish. She's like the leader.
Oh.
Well, that would have been pretty good. But then again,
5 years later.
No, like I'm wondering if they're gonna kind of like possibly because her brother wasn't there. If they're staying canonically with that she is a twin, like I'm like, where is her brother?
Maybe she's more of like to go through time and mess around and observe.
Or maybe
like, I don't
because if it does go with the comic books, I believe they're only strung together. Is that how it goes? Like they're individually, they don't have the full capabilities of the Flash. It's kind of like if you broke the Flash's powers in half.
Well,
so you got like
a Massimanos.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Well,
bring
no,
up.
not that they have to work together. I don't think they have to work together, but I think the way they were explaining it, or I've heard over things, was that they don't have the same potential that the Flash had. It was almost like half of Flash's powers in each one. So they're strong and they can do stuff, but they're not as capable as the Flash.
So then that would bring up more like that. If that's a possibility, then her brother would definitely have been somewhere.
Or they could have done that whole Eobard-Thawne Flash thing where they spun around together, and it's like, we can only send one, so here you go. I mean, there's different ways of doing it, or maybe they just, I don't know, don't want to introduce him yet. They save it for later, in the Flash episode when they do decide to show up.
Yeah, definitely.
It was just one of those little like they put it ahead of time, just like we'll get to it one day.
Oh yeah, no, and I believe they're gonna. I think she'll probably be back before the end of the season, but that's for later.
And so like another like one like kind of like I like cheeky moments for me was like there was a lot of going to like one of the main storylines of with Oliver and Felicity, this crossover with there was a lot of parallels between like it was like role reversals between like the speeches between Oliver and Felicity.
Okay,
like
here's my thing about that.
Yeah.
Why she gotta steal people's thunder? Is what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
Because taking the wedding.
They're gonna get married, right? And Oliver's trying to be real like low key, like, hey, do you want to get married? And what does she gotta do but blurt out like, oh hell no, I'm not getting married today. And then you're like,
no, I'm not gonna marry you. And it's like,
and everybody turns around and go, well, thank
back
you.
Back at it again, the true villain of the crossover. If we're gonna jump into the worst moments, Felicity.
Now, what I did enjoy is that
she was
hang on. What I did enjoy is you saw the Flash get married at the very end, but you also see Oliver get married, so we can finally get over that little hump of are they not?
Yeah,
are they gonna be together?
No, then like we'll bring that up.
Okay,
we'll bring that up in the.
Okay, yeah, we'll bring it up in a bit.
Yeah, we'll bring that up in the Arrow podcast that we're gonna be having. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it because I liked them together, and but no, it was like the couples like going on with Barry and Iris, like they showed like a really strong, because of course they're getting married, but like how really strong their relationship was. They didn't like even though there was this setback in their wedding, they were like, well, yeah, like, it's fine, this happens, kind of thing. Like
and that's a progression that makes sense. You would think that Oliver and Felicity, because of the Arrow series, all the stuff they've been through.
Or is it about Baron Iris?
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying out of all the seasons they've been through, out of all the stuff out of the island, you would think they would come out the same way stronger, way more bonded. But it seems like everything that happens just kind of separates them more and separates them more.
Well, hopefully now we'll get its stability
well,
now
yeah,
and
but
stuff.
but no, what I'm saying is like, but in only 3 seasons of The Flash, do you see Iris and their relationship start from almost nothing, of having their turmoil, to just every time something happens, they just get stronger and stronger and more closer together.
They also have a longer history, though.
Well, yeah, true. But I'm just saying, like, it would have been nice to see that kind of progression in this other relationship. Obviously, now they're together, and that's cool. But I wanted to see maybe a little bit more, and maybe Oliver, since he's more of the role model, I guess you could say, to Barry.
Yeah. It was another role reversal there, exactly with,
Mm-hmm.
like, with their speech in the suit.
Because the Flash basically tells him, like, we're always going to be in danger.
Yeah.
We're always going to be something.
And
why not be happy?
Yeah, we'll go on with that, like, in the Arrow podcast. But I think we're already like seeing that, like, in that one right after the wedding, you're getting that sense of, like, okay, now they're a team. Like, but we'll talk about that later. Also going off on our kind of like decorations right here of favorite moments, the kryptonite arrow, and like kind of like a little finally the kryptonite arrow, and yeah, like why wouldn't he have a kryptonite arrow? Question of course is like where
when
did
Batman
that come
shoots
from?
arrows, why wouldn't he have a kryptonite arrow?
I mean, it's akin to
It's akin to
it's
the Dark Knight.
Knight Returns.
No, but you know what? No, but it makes sense because you would need it. I mean, how do you take out a superhero? You know, the only way you have is either the Flash is stronger than Supergirl, or you're gonna have a kryptonite arrow.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the only way that makes sense.
Yeah, and like I mean, we totally probably could have gotten kryptonite from like another Earth and stuff like that. But then with Oliver having the kryptonite arrow, I'm like, I wonder if all the other teams have kryptonite weapons, like just in case kind of things of like possibly like Sarah has like a kryptonite like throwing knife kind of thing, or and then
I got
they all have a cell
where do they show them that they have these?
They don't.
They don't.
I'm
Well,
just
because
saying,
like with
like,
Oliver, I can see him
Yeah.
kind of like background telling Barry like, hey,
Be careful,
you know,
but
she
like
might be crazy. Like,
you never know.
go to her Earth and be like, hey, just think of some stuff, real quick.
No, but you know what? Then again, with the introduction of just the name Bruce Wayne, you've got to think that there's a possibility that there is a Superman in their Earth, or there's other stuff. Because I mean, you know, if you start to think about it, obviously the multiverse is different. You never know. Maybe Superman's younger than them in their Earth, or things like that. You never know. I mean, obviously they don't want to cross over completely and stuff,
they
but
already said that.
I mean, but there's things there that I could see even our Earth have kryptonite. You know,
Yeah,
or I mean, wherever.
Because there's still like Krypton, and you know they probably did explode as well, and then it just like scattered as far, you know, because that's how it happened. You know, that's how kryptonite came to Earth, is because it scattered from the explosion. So yeah, there's a possibility. Like I'm surprised they haven't introduced a random Kryptonian, like a low tier Kryptonian character,
something. No, even then, just a little space, like a little nod to like. There's a possibility that there's something there with him.
Yeah.
Just like I said, the little nod of Bruce Wayne. Just saying Bruce Wayne gives you the idea of there's a possibility, whether he is Batman there or not, but the character that character exists somehow. Like I said, whether he is Batman or not, maybe he's not Batman in that Earth, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's just exactly what I imagined. I was like, he's not Batman. Unless he's that secretive, but at the same time, it begs the question. Why hasn't he shown up during all these things?
It's definitely, I definitely don't.
And that's why I'm saying there could be some kryptonite somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he figured out hey, this is kryptonite and this is what it does. Or maybe they didn't answer, but during the crossover, something he got kryptonite from the sister. You know,
maybe.
Supergirl's sisters. Yeah,
well,
because there's kryptonite weapons in Supergirl's Earth.
Yeah. She had that sick ass like
suit.
Dark Knight Returns suit with the krypton and the samurai sword.
And then what was it? Mon-El's mom had kryptonite something, right?
Okay.
Like a dagger.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I'm saying, you know, who's to say that she didn't maybe bring it along?
Yeah,
you know?
maybe. So going back.
And going back to one of the best scenes is the crossover between Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. Little scene with Sarah Lance and.
And Alex.
Oh,
Alex?
you mean
Well,
Alex
that was the
Sarah?
true.
That was a
That
true
was a true
romance.
crossover.
That was a true romance crossover of the night.
That's what we've been wanting.
That's what we've been asking for. and
There's
we finally
Marvel
got it.
versus Capcom, and there's Alex, Sarah.
Yeah. The verses they had was amazing.
I liked the whole. It was they were both like true to like their characters with like Sarah being like nonchalant, like how's your butt
Yeah.
and stuff
it
like
was.
that.
It was. I liked it because it
But
was.
it wasn't
funny.
like that. It wasn't like
Yeah.
she,
No.
she fell on her butt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, but
Yeah.
I'm saying it was funny that they had a one night stand.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, I was like, that's some good humor in there.
Yeah, and I know
Without
like
being too tacky.
yeah, it probably won't go anywhere, but yeah,
Oh,
it was
no,
a good
no,
moment,
no.
and
Well,
like
yeah, it was a good moment of a
yeah,
little.
I think we'll talk about more about that with the legends, but yeah, like how they're probably gonna give like Sarah like a guy love interest possibly too.
Oh, probably.
But okay, so least favorite moments. Okay, we knew.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no.
let me just real quick. Let me explain why.
Yeah, explain.
Okay.
Because you're just gonna come off as wrong. But go ahead.
No. Okay. How the fuck? Okay. So you can't tell me. Let's say you've gone through all this shit,
Right.
gone through all this trouble
Okay.
to go through the wedding, and
Sure.
then you're still powering through
Right.
as a couple,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh my god, homeboy can marry us.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not? Okay. Yeah. Sure. Anything you want.
No,
baby.
because you know what?
And
It's
then
Felicity
fucking
Smoke. Because she's gonna be like, you know what? I gotta do it in front of
No,
Iris because I gotta
she's such a
upshow
fucking-
Iris. She's a
That's-
diva, real diva. Talk.
She's such a scumbag.
I
I was
know.
like,
No.
really? That
Why
was the
didn't I-
most scumbagish shit I've ever
They were
seen.
like, hey, your romance?
Yeah, fuck that. No,
Let me
that
get my
was
romance.
so rude. Any girl, I'm surprised any other
No, because
girl
you know what?
who's-
Because
hasn't
this is
complained about
this
it.
is Barry and Iris, and they don't give a shit. They're like, hey, we're finally gonna get married. We don't care. how
No,
we're
they
gonna do it.
do.
We
You
don't
know
care.
that night when they went to
Iris
their
was like-
honeymoon,
Iris was like,
can you believe what that slut did?
I will not talk to her again.
She's like,
till the
no,
next
fuck
crossover.
that. No, she's like, I'm not gonna be around her.
No.
No way.
No,
She's
no,
like,
No, they're friends.
No,
They're
they're
Gu-
friends.
Mark
they're
Guggenheim,
friends.
you know,
Mark Guggenheim? What?
or the writers,
Oh.
like, hey, don't write us into this ever again.
No, that's the male chauvinistic perspective on marriage is what it is.
No, it's just scumbag shit. That's what
They
I saw.
were rooting for Sarah for like.
No, it was.
I think over the long run, like it's kind of like it was kind of like a little bit of a
No, you know, I
kind
just
of,
it was
but,
just
like
it was just
overall,
a romance thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
there was romance in the air, and they felt like
Yeah.
they wanted to get married. Let's
And-
be real, that's what they went for.
Mhm.
But this guy over here, so negative
Yeah.
that he's gotta pull the negativity out.
It's
No,
basically
the
like,
problem with the crossover, and I'm still gonna go with it, is the CGI. We
No,
all know
yeah,
the
no,
CGI isn't
CGI.
gonna be, DC level of
Like
Justice
cinematic,
League and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, make it tasteful. Don't use too much of it.
and use it kind
Yeah,
of make
'cause-
it
'cause-
practical
'cause this-
kind of thing. Yeah.
At first
the
in
whole-
school, I see, excuse me, you see the Flash running, you see the Ray flying, and you see Red Tornado. And at first you're like, cool. That thing goes on what I felt like
It
half
went
an
on
hour.
too long.
And
It
I
went
was
on
like,
too
and it
long.
looks way too fake, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know what? If you would have condensed it down a little bit, I get it. They're going that way.
Yeah.
You could have had them fighting on the ground for a little bit or something, you know?
Mhm.
Maybe knock him out of the air. They're fighting on the ground. Oh my god! And then go back to a little bit, and then he blows up.
Yeah.
Make it a little less. The fight scene that they had in the tower,
Mhm.
I felt was a little less and was kind of cool. They could have cut it down just a little bit, but it was good enough that I was like, hey, that's the
Yeah.
level of CGI I expect.
And then it
But that
was
was
like,
okay.
yeah, and it was a good moment of like
Yeah.
the three working together
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
exactly.
stuff and like yeah.
It was out of everything that was my only issue because the story I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Especially when they went to the Nazi side, I was like,
Um,
that's hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
exactly.
then what's that Lance's
Oh.
Lance comes out and he's like,
Now all of a sudden he has this British accent too.
Oh,
didn't
right?
He?
It was,
Right?
yeah, just,
I think he was trying to
It's
do
like-
the Nazi accent, but it just came out real
yeah,
bad.
Joseph Goebbels Lance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
And I was like, but it was good. I was like, oh, and he's like, oh, I don't have a daughter. When he finds out that she's like bisexual,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I don't have a daughter. I'm gonna kill you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh,
Jeez.
wow.
Yeah, I mean it was like it was a tough concept
Oh yeah.
and like yeah, but it like didn't
Ooh.
make fun of it or anything like
What
that. That's what was
about-
good.
Citizen Cold and Ray making out in that thing. On
I
the
was
real,
like-
I was hyped. I was
When,
like, this
when
is
he,
good.
when he like started like pointing at arrow all over, he's like, oh, this is nice and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, like he's gay. Okay.
Oh yeah. When
Like,
they made out, I was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good TV now. Now we're getting HBO style.
Here, this is it.
This
This
is
is what I came for.
this is Trap Life.
no, kind of like I haven't seen the cartoon yet, but I'm like. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
kind of a
that's it.
douche move. like,
What?
oh yeah, I'm not gonna help them. And then like, I get where like Win is coming from, like,
Wait, oh,
Earth
the
X
Ray where
Win.
he's just like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay here, dude.
yeah. And like Captain Cole's like, no, that's like not who we are and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
No,
like,
come on.
you know what? And it makes
We'll-
sense
we'll
though
have to
because
see
Win had his end game. He saw the light at the end
Oh,
of the tunnel
no,
that he was
totally
like,
understood.
dude, we need to do this, and I'm sorry about all of you guys,
yeah,
but this needs to go down now.
yeah. Which was like speaking. Win was an awesome like.
Oh yeah,
version.
That was
really
an awesome
good.
version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my thing.
Yeah.
You guys have the Flash, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got Vibe on the other side.
Well, Vibe was knocked out.
No, oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So you got Flash on one side,
Uh-huh.
you got Vibe on the other. They're
Mhm.
pretty good friends. I would have thought the Vibe could have felt where Barry is, and be like, oh, I'm just gonna open up a hole and I can pull everybody back in.
Well,
not
like
the
by
Force.
that time, but like
No,
literally.
Not the Force.
No, but he puts on his glasses and he's done it a bunch of times.
No.
He goes
But
into
he
speed
was
force.
But he
out,
was
though.
knocked out.
He
He
was
woke
knocked
up
out.
Oh
in the
no!
pipeline.
Oh no! I get that. But I'm saying, let's say worst case scenario, they blew up the generator thing that's letting everybody through.
Yeah.
Vibe could have found Barry and pulled them all back. Let's be
Well-
honest. I mean, if we're gonna really look into it, he's done stuff like that before.
Yeah.
He could vibe into
And
the earth.
he probably would have.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
just it's just like by the time that they got back, Vibe just got out of the
Oh no,
prison
that
himself,
makes sense.
so
But I'm
it's
saying
kinda like,
that the level of urgency that they're putting
yeah.
in, like, we need to go home now, or we're never gonna get back. I was like, hey guys, you guys have another guy back there that if everything goes well and you make sure that they don't go through, you'll make it back.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but
It's just
they
take-
weren't
it's
I mean,
sure.
because then
taking
you
a
got the
chance.
Vibes, you got the Vibes girlfriend, and you got the Vibes dad, and they can
Yeah.
like
They did not.
they can
know
hold
way.
hands and kumbaya a hole for you to come back.
I know they didn't.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I get it. You got to make a level of urgency for them, but let's be real. They could have been like, hey, look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure your Earth is okay, then we'll figure a way back home.
Yeah.
I'll just run around in circles and then I'll open a wormhole and I'll just start bouncing through Earth till we figure it out. Right? I'm just
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
What if it takes too long though? What if he keeps popping and then he lands on like?
Or he just runs right into the damn speed force and then runs right out.
It's
No,
just,
same vibe. What if it's like popping back and forth?
Yeah, because he can feel him. He'll put on his little Vibe glasses. He'll put on the Cyclops glasses, and he'll be like, "This is Marvel. This is X-Men."
Alright.
Fate of two worlds.
Well, and like for me, going back to least favorite, like it was necessary and it was sad. It was because with Stein dying.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was
That was a great.
No.
It was
moment.
great
No,
moment,
I
but
cried.
just sad.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried. Here's my thing though. Why you gotta do that to him though?
Well,
Why
he
couldn't
wanted-
why couldn't
Yeah,
you have
why
brought him back
couldn't
to
you just
life
let
or
him-
done something stupid like when you did start and you're like, we're gonna pump you back in the timeline in a different place. You couldn't do that to my Stein? No,
Yeah.
you gotta. No, he's gotta be
Because
dead.
that makes him more powerful. That makes
No. It made it powerful enough when I saw the man die. I was expecting my happy moment of we're gonna bring you back to life. I'm gonna throw you back somewhere and you can stay with your grandkid. No, you stay dead. Captain Cold can stay alive. No.
Well, we'll talk about it with the legends, but like, Stein still exists. Like, they're gonna probably be popping back
Maybe.
with him, but
Yeah,
it's
well, because
just,
they do
like,
an
why
episode
can't
where
you
they
just,
pop back, but
why can't you just leave him alive? Let him go home.
I was hoping
Kinda
something like
thing,
that and just
yeah.
kind of ended. But obviously, it's more, like you said, it's more impactful, and I get
Yeah,
it. It's more
uh-huh.
impactful. It's just, why him?
Well,
It's tragedy.
Well-
Tragedy's the best. My favorite.
technically, because he didn't want to be on the show.
No, I know, but I'm saying, why
yeah,
couldn't
but
you? Why couldn't you have killed Jax and let Stein live? Not saying
Yeah.
that you had to. Obviously, the younger guy, because you can always bring him back and give him
Yeah.
somebody else. But I'm just saying, man, he was so good.
It was just
Why did he?
It
why
made
did,
more sense him being like, "You're my dad, and I loved you." And
oh, I know.
That's
And
why
every
it was
dad,
good.
wants to give up his life for his kid, and it makes sense because they were
Maybe
bonded for
Jax
so
is
long.
that
But it's
Like-
just, I'm still. But I'm just saying, it's just,
Yeah.
it was just a sad moment for me, like too
Yeah.
sad.
Maybe Oliver's days are numbered now. He's like, I don't know. The dads, shut up.
What? Oh,
All of
Sorry,
us
what
remember?
happened?
No, because all the dads die. Because like Oliver's dad.
Oliver's
Barry's
not.
dad.
No, Oliver's
No.
dad's not gonna die. Oliver, as the dad's not gonna die, the son's gonna die, and then Oliver will be free of child.
sweet season 1 Oliver.
Season 1 Oliver all over again, vengeance. And you know who's he gonna die at the
What?
hands of? Like Jericho or one of those guys.
Felicity.
Felicity
Yes.
Smoke. She's
The
gonna
true
she's gonna
villain.
turn into the next Deathstroke.
She's gonna be.
She goes, check out my stroke. He's dead.
She's
What?
gonna be a.
Why you got to move a person back? Come on.
Because they gotta
They
take 2
move
steps
forward.
forward, 17 steps back.
Yeah,
Season
that
one.
is like that's 17 stuff. Yep. All right.
Season
So going on. Who's your couple of your MVPs for the crossover?
The Reverse Flash.
Yes.
Reverse
He got it.
Flash.
Yeah, Reverse Flash.
Best
He was
MVP
like
ever.
over, like I mean not over the top, but he was like the most dysfunctional, cracked person I've seen.
Oh yeah,
Like,
because he's
he's like,
so okay. So my understanding, he was the Reverse Flash from Barry's time, who wound up coming to their Earth and taking over.
you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right?
he said no.
'Cause he said he changed his face.
He's changed it back.
Well, because he basically says I can change my face anytime.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is he's a Reverse Flash that and at some point
After
in time,
he's technically post season 1.
yeah.
So yeah, he's
Yeah.
that one. Then
But no,
later
what I'm
on
trying
when
to
he
say,
comes back in
no, because what I'm
Legends
trying to
and
say is he's a Reverse Flash that exists with Barry Allen and Legends and those guys. He's not the Reverse Flash of their Earth. If not, because okay, so the Reverse
Okay,
Flash.
you're thinking about the Flash. Okay,
No,
that's
'cause
how
the
he's
Reverse
thinking.
Flash-
He's thinking about the Flash from the Reverse Flash from the future that comes back in
Yeah.
time to fuck with Barry
Yes.
for the first time.
Exactly that one.
For the first, like, no, this is the future Reverse Flash that has already done all that stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
and then he,
no. But what I'm
then
trying to say is he's the one that exists in the Earth of Barry Allen.
he's
and
the
stuff.
time anomaly.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is because you know how every Earth has their own guy.
Yeah.
No,
oh no,
this
no,
is
no.
the-
Yeah.
that's what
no,
I was trying to say. This is a
Oh,
Reverse
he's
Flash.
Oh
Flash
yeah,
one.
yeah, it's
he's
clear.
not-
He's
Yeah.
Earth
No,
one
he
Reverse
says it
Flash.
because he's like,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah. I was
Oh no,
messing
yeah,
around.
he said I just changed my face to this face because I thought you would kind of like this, but
Yeah.
we'll see what face I wear next time I see you again.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
that
no, no.
was so,
That
like-
was
that was
no.
so
That's
hype.
clearly they make that distinction
yeah.
that he's Earth One.
Or, yeah, that's what I was
Earth
trying
yeah,
to say.
One. Yeah.
I was trying to say he's Earth One. He's the only one out of a bunch of groups.
Yeah, he's
that Earth
basically-
One.
yeah,
and he had a mission. Like he was like, I'm helping you guys get to the top. I'm helping you guys be this, and here you are worrying about this chick. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about him.
He was great.
He was staying
my
on
favorite.
point,
Uh-huh.
and then all his lines and everything, and even when he talks to the Flash, it was cool. And then I like that scene at the very end when they do have that like face talk,
Uh-huh.
where the Flash is like, you know what, I'm not gonna kill you because I'm not
Yeah.
you.
Don't kill him. Like put him somewhere.
Well, no,
That
he's
was-
gotta.
like
yeah.
that was the.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. He's
One
gotta
of,
go
one of
through
my
his-
least favorite moments
Yeah,
about it
there-
too was I was
yeah.
like,
Why you gotta
Why-
let him go?
why?
I would put him in
I
the,
was
in the
like,
hole.
don't get me wrong, he's my favorite character of the whole Arrowverse, but I was like, but why?
No, I would put him in that tube, put him in a cage, do
Or
something.
just throw
Like,
him somewhere.
yeah.
Somewhere.
Through time,
Put
I
him
don't
in.
care.
Put him in the Speed
Like,
Force. I get what
okay.
you're saying.
So,
But I'm just saying that the thing I liked about it was where he made the distinction of like, he's like, are you gonna kill me again? I'll be back, kind of. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna kill you because I'm the Flash. I am not you. You are you.
It was
I
a
am
very, very Batman Joker thing. too.
Yeah,
It was
but
very-
then I did have the issue where he's kind of like, okay, well then bye. I'll see you next week. And he's
Yeah.
like, cool. See you later.
no,
He's
like
alright, dude.
I'm even sure that like if Overgirl didn't die, Kara would have like locked her up somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
what I
definitely,
thought.
and of course Oliver did the Oliver thing of like, fuck that, no, I'm
he's
just
dead.
ending this like right
Yeah,
now,
because
which
that,
was awesome.
because that's Oliver season 1. Kill everything.
He's like, oh, your heart looks like a good target.
He's all straight up. I was aiming between the eyes, but I missed and I hit his heart. Oh.
He's like, you know what, poetic justice. And they're like, no, dude, that's bad accuracy. Oh, poetic justice.
My quiver quivers for another arrow.
Oh, gosh. So yes, your MVPs are Reverse Flash.
Well, that's one, and then I think the other one that actually I really thought was really good was Captain Cold and his gay and
Citizen Cold?
Citizen
Citizen
Cold.
Cold.
Hello, Flash.
I was like, he's so
Love
over
that
the top.
shit.
He's my number one guy. But in all honesty, I think out of the whole thing, you got the Reverse Flash, and then you got the Arrow.
Dark Arrow, yeah.
No, not the Dark Arrow,
Oh.
but the regular Arrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Like really showing his chops of
Uh-huh.
like kind of coming to his own
Yeah.
as a leader. Because in the other seasons, I'm not saying that the other crossovers he wasn't a leader, but it always seems like since he's the older one to what the first show on the
He's the more
series.
seasoned.
He's a more seasoned one, and
Yeah.
he's supposed to pick up that leader role.
Yeah.
And it always seems like it's somebody else. Either it'll be
Well,
Sarah
yeah,
or
he
it'll
had-
be some
he had given-
Barry or
yeah,
somebody.
Because, like, yeah, he, like, in the last one, he had given Lorraine's to Barry for
Mhm.
the last crossover, and then the other one, it was just, like, just them
Yeah.
on each other's shows. But yeah, no, like, that's like I've been loving the Arrowverse all across all the series of, them showing, like kind of giving respect to Arrow and Oliver. Like
Yeah, Oliver really came.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Because I mean, it wasn't hard to see that. Obviously, the Nazi side of them, of Oliver and Caro and all these guys, they were cool just on their own, just because they're evil. And being evil is always easy. You just gotta be bad, you know.
Yeah.
But for the hero to actually show like his chops of like, now I've become the leader, I'm the guy you guys are gonna turn to and ask questions to and all this stuff. That's where I was like, hey, you know, he did good this time.
Yeah, and
He
that's
really-
coming
really-
from like that he like had, if you think about it, like a couple weeks ago he was like had given this up, like he was like, okay, but the naturality of like and how comfortably he is in his role, and like that's what's like really shows like Oliver's like growth overall is like he's comfortable with who he is, he knows, he understands he's like the leader of like these people, and like he's fine with it, and like he's not daunted by it in any way, I think, at this point. Yeah,
Yeah, really shows his
yeah,
chops.
that's why my MVP, of course, is
And your second MVP is Felicity.
no, not
Oliver
Felicity. I think my second,
Nazi Oliver.
no, second
That's the
MVP.
first, yeah.
I think actually it would be Overgirl and
Really?
Kara, because
I
like
loved
just
Overgirl. I thought she was
Yeah.
You know, I
Just-
felt like she was cool, but she really played to like,
yeah, kind of.
not just not like
Or I think
Nazi
Kara.
Oliver, because she was always like, oh, you know, Dark Arrow, you need to go on, I'm dying, oh, don't worry about me. I was like, you know what, shut up, girl, shut up.
No, I think not Overgirl per se, but like most Illinois, but mostly like with Supergirl, because like she had come to run away and stuff like that, and the whole like human heart or having a human heart kind of thing, like it's kind of like that poetic thing of like she didn't want to have like love and heart anymore,
Oh, yeah.
and then that's the thing that they wanted.
Poetic justice.
Poetic justice.
Right to the heart.
Yep.
God.
Okay. All right. So, like, what would you like to happen? Going on to our final point.
Static Shock.
What would you like to happen next crossover? Static Shock.
I want Static Shock in
We
the
could.
crossover.
Black Lightning.
No,
That's
Black
what-
Lightning is Black Lightning. I want Static Shock in that universe. Well, because here's the thing.
You know what?
So
It'd
you
be,
got
it'd be a
Titans.
cool like.
You've got Titans coming, right?
Yeah.
My whole question is
And that is being
Well-
produced by
well, but see,
Berlanti, is it?
I don't know. I know it's going to be in their streaming service.
Yeah.
So my whole question is, will we actually see them cross over to the non-streaming service?
Maybe. I wouldn't be
But
surprised.
see,
if they,
those are things that Black
Quick
Lightning would be
spots.
a nice addition, maybe. You know, so another different metahuman kind of power thing, maybe. You know, I don't really know. I mean, how much better can you get than what you got right now? This storyline was awesome.
For me, Manhunters. Introduce the Manhunters, they go rogue, introduce the Lanterns. Bam.
See,
Backdoor,
I don't
throw in the Green
think
Lantern.
They won't
that
touch
would be
lanterns.
cool. That would be
Like,
cool.
yeah.
The only lanterns you're gonna see are the paper lanterns that they hang, because Oliver and Felicity are gonna get married again because they're gonna get divorced. in
Well,
the
I mean,
series.
they could introduce at least like a different lantern then.
Yeah, paper
Okay,
lantern.
so we can't go with Green Lantern.
Uh-huh.
Introduce like
The Starfires
no, like the Red Lanterns. Be like,
or the
okay,
Blue Lanterns.
are
Just
here.
compassion. Huh?
There's
they
one.
can't show any.
That's all you need. The
Same
Blue Lantern.
Walker, that's. I mean, he'd be cool for like the Legends. He'd actually be perfect for like.
Just
an
get the
episode.
Orange Lantern and make him the bad guy.
On Larfleeze?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It'd be a good episode for Legends if like.
Because here's the
they
thing,
go
you
off
can't
in
because
space.
you can't put Sinestro, because Sinestro is a big
Yeah,
one.
no,
You
but
can't,
that's what I'm saying. Red Lanterns for a crossover. Bring in the Red Lanterns because they're all about like justice, but like brutal justice.
yeah, well,
Bring
why
them
not
in
bring
and be
in the Star Sapphire lanterns, the ones that are like about love, but in a weird, like sadistic way, like everything needs to be love, but it's not.
They're not bad.
I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're not like the bad. Because that's the
I
thing.
I just think the Red Lanterns
Well,
because
here's
there's
the
a
thing.
story arc where
Because
like
you're gonna bring in lanterns, right? If they haven't come out in a movie yet to explain to people, I don't see you bringing out any of the other lanterns.
but why not the red? But I'm just
Because
saying like
now you're opening a door to the lanterns, and people are like, "What the hell's a red lantern?"
exactly.
I've never
that's what
seen
I'm saying.
the
Open
green.
the door for them.
Look, Ryan Reynolds closed that door a while back.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, open that door. Okay, there's so many things in these
Oh
series
no, there
that
is.
they're missing parts of.
Yeah.
But this
Like
is the thing, like
Supergirl, they're always trying to go around.
well, it's because
you know the big Kryptonian in
that's
the
what I'm
room.
saying. But
They're always
okay,
like, oh, no,
you know they're gonna bring out the Lanterns in the next movie, or they're gonna make their own movie. They're not gonna want to let you put anything on
Yeah,
TV.
no,
That's the issue
But
with
just for
Lanterns.
a crossover, not even like continuous. Just
I
like
don't
one
know.
crossover.
Well, like we'll talk about it again in the Arrow section, but I mean, like we're not even sure if Deathstroke is gonna come back with that whole, you know, and like with John Magneto now, Joe Magneto. But no, so
I mean, I would like to see like Wonder Woman. You know,
I
like
mean,
or
I don't
use
think
her.
we're
well,
not
no,
gonna
not like
get
Wonder
them.
Woman, but like okay, because you know in Titans, right?
Yeah.
Not the Teen Titans, but in Titans,
Uh-huh.
you've got what's it that Wonder Woman young girl? What's her name?
Donna Troy.
Donna Troy. Then you got like Superboy.
Yeah.
You know,
They're-
you've got other things that you can put around.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Use the Red Lanterns.
You're right.
Introduce them.
Let me Titans Red Lantern.
No, I'm saying like in general, like because you're going around.
Well, no, you're
That's what
going.
I'm saying,
You know,
go
but you're
around
going.
Green
No,
No,
what
I
I'm saying
think
is.
they could.
Well, no, the only
possibly,
reason
if
I'm saying is
Trinity
if
Lanterns.
Titans has those characters
Mhm.
in the show, I
Then
could see
yeah.
you bring him in. That's what I'm
Not
saying. Like,
not
but
not
it-
their prime character.
No,
not
no,
like
no.
not
Just
like
what's on
Wonder Woman.
Titans, that's
No,
what-
but
no,
yeah, it's totally possible.
But
them
if they
bringing
don't
Titans
have
in.
like Donna Troy in Titans and they don't have Superboy in Titans, then I don't expect them to show up
Mhm.
because that's still you hitting territory of those characters. Now they have the thing is they do have Superman in the series. I
Yeah,
can
but
see
they're
Superman.
always trying to,
They're
like,
always
Oh, no, I
having.
know.
They exist
Okay,
technically,
it's like-
but they're
It's
they're
like in
like
Earth One,
mentions.
Ra's al Ghul. Okay, you're literally going around the biggest
No, I know,
guy
I know,
around.
but
Like,
but
Yeah.
they're even referencing him when he takes off his shirt and they fight.
Yeah,
Fight shirtless.
uh-huh.
I'm just like, yeah, where have I seen that before? He's just missing a
Kylo
Kylo
Ren.
Ren.
Yeah.
Years. Kylo Ren, there it is.
Kylo Ren when he
Kylo
pulls his
Ren.
pants up.
The Last Jedi.
That's
Yeah.
Jedi.
No.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if the characters come out of Titans, I could see you do it.
Uh-huh.
The only reason is, I think it would be smarter if they were to cross over some of the smaller ones
Mhm.
from the movies, like you know, like you said, the Red Lanterns or something. And it could be an obscure Red Lantern that you just come up with. It doesn't have to be one of the main ones. And yeah, that stuff would be cool to cross them over in the TV show. But for some odd reason, they don't want. It's the same thing that you see in other companies like Marvel and them. They don't always want to cross over their characters from the TV.
Mhm.
I think it's bad.
Yeah.
I think a cross promotion like that, and like I said, not your main guys, but smaller characters that still exist in it would be cool because it's a little nod and a wink
Yeah.
to all the guys that know who they are. You're also bringing up to speed the people that watch the TV show of the existence of other things.
Uh-huh.
So when they go watch the movies, they're like,
Didn't
oh yeah,
didn't they also reference like the Legionnaires? In one of them?
Supergirl.
Or was that Supergirl?
Yeah.
The Legion's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah, we'll
Legionnaires,
talk
right?
about that. Yeah.
the legendary Legion of
Yeah.
Superheroes or something.
There
Yeah.
it is.
So, what I would want
Produced
for
by the
what
Legendary
I would
folks.
want for next year's crossover actually was them going to Supergirl's Earth because we haven't been fully to Supergirl's
Brainiac.
Earth. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know about Brainiac, but we're
Injustice
getting Brainiac
2.
5, Injustice 2.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, no, you know what? Because I'm saying, what about something like that? What about like an Injustice universe where they instead of them crossing over to even that,
That's what they kind of did. I think that's what they're
I
going for this
guess,
one.
I guess, but I'm saying like,
Well,
what about them
isn't
going to
that
what about them going to a world where they don't exist? Period.
Maybe,
Then
yeah.
maybe it's just a world
I
covered
mean,
in villains,
'cause,
and they
like,
show
I
up
think
somewhere.
so.
Forever
They
Evil.
have,
Oh
yeah.
my
Kurt,
God.
What?
Forever Evil would be so sick.
Uh,
Just get all the villains. Okay. Oh my God. Here, listen. Check this out.
But
Okay,
Hold
let
on,
it be
Berlanti.
in,
Check this
in
out, check this
Earth
out.
30, please.
No,
Wait,
no.
It's
Do it on
completely-
Earth One right now. Okay, do Earth One. Okay, get rid of Green Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl. They're the trinity of the DC CW universe.
Mhm.
And then introduce the villains. We have a plethora of villains in all the shows. Use them, because the whole point of Forever Evil is that a bigger, badder villain comes through and takes away the big guns.
Basically,
So you
so
have-
that the Trinity will be kidnapped.
They'll
in
be
some
kidnapped,
way.
yeah, and they'll be like, Vi will be like, well, let's just call Supergirl. Supergirl's missing. So they're all gone, and then you have Captain Cold, Reverse Flash. You have Ra's al Ghul. You can bring everybody back, all the villains, and be like, "Hey, we need to like save the
We need to
planet.
make-
It's our turn."
What
to
are we
save
like? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
Well, yeah, exactly. What would be some kind of Suicide Squad? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there it is. And then at the end of it, bring back the
heroes.
like the whole plot is they're trying to get the Trinity back. Be like, we need them, and then at the same time get some character development where they're like, We did it on our own. We didn't need Supergirl and Green Arrow. Yeah. Yeah, and then there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it does sound
actually
good.
a good one.
But I do want it to be on because like we'd still I want the freaking interaction between Cisco, Felicity, and Win because like
Do
we
it
still
for
haven't
everyone.
got
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, no,
They-
but have
they
it. Yeah,
could
have
be
it
the-
on
they could be-
Supergirl's Earth, and that's all I
They
want.
could be the
I
hub.
like
They
that.
could be the hub of like, hey, you guys, this is where feeding you the
send the
information.
other ones out.
And you send all the bad
send
guys out.
send
And
the
then you
bad
can even have
guys,
that like
send-
quips between the bad guys going like, why are we listening to these nerds or something? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
you know,
I like it.
there's that. I mean, you could always. Well, I mean, what else could you do?
Yeah,
Oh.
Guggenheim call us.
What about
Hey, Berlanti. Yep.
Darkest Night?
Yep.
Hey,
Thank you.
What about okay, so you know, obscure. What about like Darkest Night, where like the evil ring comes out, the black ring.
Open up fucking Red Lanterns. Oh my
But I
god.
was saying, if we're
Black
gonna go
Lanterns
obscure,
is even more like
obscure.
It's more. It's
No, but I'm
it's
saying
more
like
intricate
no, but I'm
than
saying
the Green Lantern.
what I'm
story.
trying to say is like something like zombie, something like where the bad guys are like a virus or something where you completely are circumventing even any story or anything that has to do with anybody. And I'm just saying, just really throw it on its head. Like,
do like a
I think Forever
crossover
Evil.
Halloween
I think
special.
Forever
Something like
Evil
that, that's what I'm
actually
saying.
They
has.
always come out in the fall. Why not?
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you go like they wind up in some Earth and there's like a zombie virus, and all of a sudden you've got a couple of good heroes trying to save the day and trying to bring the other Earth back to normal. I don't know, something a little different than what we've seen. Because honestly, this crossover is really good, but it really stops you from doing like. What's that other one? That other world where all the superheroes are evil, but all the evil guys are good guys.
Oh, Earth 3.
Okay.
In the comics.
In the comics, something like that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, because you could do that storyline, but isn't it the same as what we just saw right now?
Yeah, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. There's a few storylines that work the same way.
Yeah.
That I'm like, well, but you already did this, so it would just be almost like a rehash.
Well, yeah, technically, like it's like
Steampunk.
the Forever Evil kind of has like a good chance because like so far the past two crossovers have been obscure comic book series. Like the last one was Heroes versus Aliens, which was an actual comic book series.
Or
and then
you know
this
what?
one
Why
was
don't we
Crisis on
do
Earth.
why don't we do the huge crossovers? I mean, the crossovers to be the huge like the huge tie-ins that they do in the comic books, like oh my god, what was I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Dark Side War.
Yeah, like Dark Side War, or one of those. Yeah, like something like that.
Green Arrow versus Dark Side. Fucking.
But yeah,
And it's
no
the
war,
Giant
like
version.
like
Versus the anti-monitor.
kind of like Infinite Crisis. What's the other one? Was it 0 Hour or one of those? Or
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
what they're
like-
doing with Doomsday Clock. Like do the big thing where you're gonna have the heroes anyways fighting some bad guy, but make it monolithic where it's gonna affect everybody maybe at the end.
Yeah. Like,
Where you know it can be its own singular story, but it affects everybody and it's something big. Because if not, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna end up rehashing something where all these guys gotta come together and they gotta fight one bad guy, and then after it, forget about it. It's no biggie.
With the
'Cause look,
weddings for this one, like that's the closest. It's
like
got it,
the
actually
Flash is
happened.
like the what was it? The Flash did
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint, and it affected everything.
Flashpoint could have been a crossover instead
Yeah,
of
oh,
being
yeah,
the-
exactly.
I was hoping it would have been a crossover.
Could have been a Fortnite crossover, something huge where at the end of it he fixes it, and you could have done the whole. I mean, maybe not Aquaman and Wonder Woman, but you could have had other heroes in there or something, done a big war or done something, and you could have easily had Thomas Wayne, because at the time
Robert
Robert
Queen.
Well.
Yeah, you'd have to go with like.
Well,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying
to-
you could have had something like that, like Thomas Wayne and the Joe. You know, you could switch it up
Yeah,
however you want.
yeah.
But I'm saying you could have things like that, like
Which
yeah.
technically is Earth 2, but they haven't referenced
And
it
then you
again.
could, and
but
then
yeah.
they could have even ended it too with like, you know, there's Barry. He's like he needs to go back, and then Reverse Flash is like, I got you, son, got you. And then Robert Queen is his own like Green Arrow.
Just stabs him in the chest.
Stabs him, yeah, just like
With an arrow,
Flashpoint
just-
Batman did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, an arrow.
Yeah,
Bam,
whatever.
And he's just like, oh. He's like, gotta go. And then he just sends a message. Oh, they could have given him a message.
Yeah, from his dad, like,
Yeah.
hey,
And then
son,
be like,
Ugh,
hey, dude,
shut up.
break up
They
with that
could.
bitch.
Shut up!
got him.
And then it's just like, it's my dad's handwriting, and he just cries.
Shut
You're a hell
up.
of a messenger, Barry. Credits. I would have been like, yes, there it is. I would
No,
have
and
cried.
then-
It's still possible. I mean, they could
No,
still.
and that's what I was gonna say.
Like, definitely not Crisis. Not
Stuff like that, or you know, like those big ones. You know, yeah, you're gonna change it up because you always change it up. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have all the characters.
Yeah.
You don't have Batman. You don't have Superman. You don't have Wonder Woman. Cool. You don't have the Lanterns. You got like Martian Manhunter. You've got other people that you can fit in their spots.
Yeah, that too. We need like Martian Man.
We need.
That's why
Zatanna.
it needs to be
Rise of
on.
the White Martians.
It
Something,
needs
you know?
to be on
Yeah.
Supergirl's Earth
I-
next
I-
season.
No,
Needs to be
no,
honest.
no.
or where's that one that just destroys all the Earths and then brings them all together? Like it destroys the multiverse and brings it together. Don't they have one like that?
There's like Convergence.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, why not do that? Like, we're at the point that they're all on CW. Why don't we do Convergence or something on one of the crossovers, destroy the multiverse, bring them all onto one Earth, and just call it a damn day?
Nah,
No.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need the alternate Earths.
No, and then you do the next season, the new crossover that introduces the new 52.
No.
Nah,
And then you got Chinese Superman.
I'm down.
Oh,
No,
that.
no.
Chinese Batman, Chinese
Chinese Superman,
Wonder Woman.
you're welcome. I thought about it. Berlanti, get on it.
Oh gosh.
Oh no, dude, we need Batcow.
All right.
There it is. Oh, that's it. Batcow.
No,
That's
what I
it.
need is Superboy, but not like Superboy, but like Superman's real son with Krypto, the super dog.
There it is.
And then you get
know
Robin,
what?
and then you get the Bat Dog, or what was it, Bat Hound?
Ace.
Ace the Bathound. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Here you go.
New
Oh, no, they
CW,
did
no,
introduce
hey,
him, and they fucked him up.
new CW
Who?
series.
Mr. Mixie Pitlick.
Oh, they
yeah.
did. He was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
He was okay.
New series, CW series pitched the Super Pets, and they're all the pets.
There
from
was
everybody.
a show like that.
No, I'm saying live action pet show, and they're all going to be like Air Bud talking. So Oliver
It's
can
like
have a
Justice
cat.
League meets Homeward Bound.
So, guess what, you guys? We just made money.
We did it.
Okay. All
Another
right.
We did it again, Berlanti.
All right.
Send the checks in the mail. Got it.
Hello, CW. Warner Brothers. Guess what? We've got a live action movie and TV show for you guys. Cartoons. We're gonna make toys. Hasbro. Where you at?
CW. Here it is. Sabrina. Oh, you're doing that? All right. Never mind.
Call you back on that
Alright,
toy.
guys. Alrighty.
Archie.
Alright, let's wrap this up.
Archie
Okay.
Bump will know.
Let's
Same as
wrap this
comics.
up. Alright, well, thank you. That was our Brave the Bold podcast series.
Very brave, very bold.
Crossover issue 1. We will see you for the crossover issue 2 next year, hopefully. Which I will probably include Black Lightning. We can
Probably.
yeah, but yeah. Alright.
And remember, like, subscribe, and follow Nerd Incorporated and District 6.
Please. Alright.
And any comments on the bottom or wherever you want to put, just light it up, man.
Let us know how you feel about the Red Lanterns.
Tell us
I
how
know
you feel
exactly
about
what you
Felicity. Do you agree with us?
Agree with them or me, who is a true person.
Right.
It's not heartless. Alright.
Sometimes the heart wants what the heart wants.
Okay. Well, we'll
Everybody.
see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Do you know the way?
You know the way. This is the...
Oh, shit. This is the way.